Hello. I'm sorry. I know I've been absent. I've just been in the middle of coordinating a move to a new city, which is always fun, and especially with Mercury retrograde stuff. It goes here and it goes there, and it doesn't quite go exactly where you try to plan for it to go. So, anyways, yes, this video is going to be specifically for Mercury retrograde. I know that um, I'm a little bit late for doing a new moon news transit video, but I think this is really the most important thing for everybody to know for this next lunar cycle, anyways. So we have Mercury retrograde in Pisces, and Neptune is also in Pisces, and also the Sun is in Pisces. And as of right now, the Moon is in Pisces too, but that's going to be moving on very quickly. One of the biggest, there's a couple of things that come to mind with this. We have all of this Pisces energy and also the Jupiter and Sagittarius energy, and a big theme right now is how do I want to move forward? Which door do I go through? Which opportunity is the one that's best for me? And there are all sorts of manifestations of this. So in your life, it might be playing out as, I don't see the opportunity that's right before me. And then over the course of the next 3 weeks or so, as Mercury goes through retrograde, it becomes more and more obvious. Or it could be of, I'm not quite sure about this option, but it seems like the right one. My feelings are telling me it's right, but I have to see and I have to make sure with time. It can manifest in so many different ways. But one of the biggest themes right now and over the course of March of this year is to ask yourself what it is you need and how do you get it? What opportunity must you go? What door of opportunity must you go through? As I said in the Jupiter and Sagittarius video, this is a really wonderful time for prosperity, for opportunities, for abundance. But one of the big challenges with this particular energy, Sag energy in general, but this particular energy, and we're all experiencing this. This is a transiting energy. Again, this is Jupiter transiting the space, the region of space known as Sagittarius. The challenge is this kind of every door is open, or at least it seems like there's so many different doors open. That doesn't last for forever. Now, does that mean we need to freak out or stress? No, 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 no. It just means that we need to be thinking to ourselves and being aware of, okay, I need to keep this current time in perspective. If I feel like there are so many opportunities available for me, I need to choose wisely. Because just because I can go through that door right now doesn't mean it'll always be like that. And if you choose that door and that leads to that door and that leads to that door, other doors will close. And ultimately, that's not going to really matter to you if you're going through the right doors, through the doors that you need to go through instead of just wanting to go through. Or, this is a time, and yeah, this is a time of getting in touch with our subconscious. And that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful opportunity. But a lot of people don't like their subconscious. They don't like, what am I feeling deep within? Not like, what am I feeling on the surface? Fire energy. I'm not that fire can't be deep. I don't mean to imply anything negative about fire energy. But water energy, especially all this Pisces energy, is we cannot help but face our emotions because our living, waking reality becomes like a dream or a nightmare. And if it's nightmarish, we can always turn it into a dream. But we have to first understand, why the hell am I feeling this way? That one could do that in so many different ways. And of course, I don't want to generalize for everybody. But in general, meditation, trying to clear the mind. See, that's one of the big things about all this energy right now, especially with that Jupiter and Sagittarius, is we just need to get the water flowing. Then we can figure out all the details along the way. But right now, it's kind of like, how do I figure this out? Whether we're logical or more subjective, we all have the capability of letting our feelings guide us, just like we all have the capability of having reason. This is a time where if you try and control the outcome or try and control every little detail of the planning, you'll just be thwarted. And that's good to experience sometimes, because that means that you're not quite in balance, you're not quite accepting reality and accepting consciousness and existence in the universe for what it is. And a huge part of that is, can we guide our lives? Absolutely, we can guide our lives. But can we ever control our lives? No. No. We may have ideas and plans, just like I did with the whole moving situation. And it's still going that way. I'm still guiding in a positive direction, but I can't control it. And it's really important to make sure you don't try and control it during this time, because otherwise the universe will have some pretty harsh lessons. Perfect example. A couple days ago, it seemed like this house was perfect. It was like, yes, this is golden. This opportunity is great. The rent is fantastic, and it's in the right place, and this and that. And then I get there, and slowly but surely it dawns on me, something's not right. Something's not right. I just need to look around, and I need to not try and control the situation. And it turns out that it was a scam. That house was for sale by somebody else, and this other place was saying, "Oh yes, it's for rent. Give us your security deposit, and we'll take your money." That is what is present at this time. Also, a huge thing is driving accidents. Of course, during any time, if you're not paying attention, you can always cause an accident. But during times like these, especially, well, and a quick note on that too, with driving, just making sure whenever Mercury is retrograde, I do a couple things, like a couple days beforehand, and it's okay. It's not too late to do this. It's never too late. But I always make sure my tires are pumped up, not too much, not too little, and I also make sure that I just had an oil change and I'm not due for anything. And sometimes it's really good, especially with a time like this. I pondered getting my car checked out, just taking it to Pet Boys and saying, okay, here's $40, just check everything out, make sure that everything's cool. Because during times like these, it can be really helpful to know, oh, this is, you're gonna have to replace this, or instead of having to figure it out on the road. But again, cycling back to what I was saying before, of just making sure that you're centered and you're focused in every moment, especially when driving. Today I almost got into an accident because I was pulling out of it. I was like, oh God, I didn't even see that car there. But thankfully, they were focused and they were mindful in the here and now. That is the big challenge. Whatever it is that we're doing, and wherever, whether we're operating machinery or if we're just on our own thinking, it's best to stay focused. Is this a really beautiful time? Actually, it's best to stay focused on our feelings and making sure that we're feeling good feelings. We're creating a good internal world that we can then, I don't know the right word for this, but give, portray, offer, coexist with the external world. And of course, if we have a good internal feeling of, oh yes, I know what I'm doing with my life, I feel this, and I'm in tune with my feelings, then that can be wonderful. And of course, you're going to receive good vibrations from others. If you're experiencing a lot of confusion during this time, again, go inward. This is also, again, a really beautiful time. There's so many different ways, meditation, etc. But this is a really beautiful time to also get therapy if you need it. Again, any time can be a good time for therapy. But this is a time when, if you can, I just had a reading today with a really great friend of mine, just to be able to help me sort through, because there's a lot of it is like me kind of figuring out on my own as I was saying it and as I was feeling the vibe, and she was helping me for sure. But it's like, I feel this way about it. And then this is a very introspective time, and that's a beautiful thing. But again, if somebody's fighting their emotions, if they're running from their emotions, if they're denying their emotions, this is the time where the universe presses your doorbell like this. Don't ignore it. Don't fight it. Face what you're feeling. Seek the root cause and seek to guide your life and guide every little instance to change it from nightmare into dream. It can feel overwhelming. Some people are going to have a really hard time right now, but especially if they're dealing with addiction, but if you start now, you can still salvage it. You can still salvage your life. And that's true of any time, but this is a great time to really figure out, why the fuck am I doing this, or thinking this, or feeling this. And that's true for all of us, whether we fall on that kind of extreme of the spectrum or not. This is a beautiful time to ask ourselves what's going on internally. And also, Venus is in Aquarius, so how does that relate to my interactions with others? Again, it's kind of funny. We have Saturn in Cap, we got Mars in Taurus, we have Uranus in Taurus. That's nice. All of that has an emphasis on solidify, stabilize, be able to guide and hold. It's not really the time, especially with Uranus and Taurus. We need to change. It's time to change. So let your feelings guide you in that process, and all will be well. Infinite love to you, my friend. Namaste.